Hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get the latest updates from Fine Planet. They may be graphic and may not even throw a complimentary spotlight on Mesa police officers. But the Mesa Police Department's new critical incident community briefings aim to add transparency on a long-time hot-button issue that is getting a renewed surge of interest: officer-involved shootings in the city. Mesa Police also have scheduled a community meeting June 25 to outline some of 66 recommendations it has adopted, with some minor modifications for improving police use of force tactics. Among the recommendations the department has adopted is the creation of a critical incident review board consisting of representation from a police union, a member of the department's advanced training unit, the department's legal advisor, and 2 community members. Adopting a policy from a California law, Mesa Police will release a video summary of all officer-involved shootings, whether they are fatal or not. The policy was announced after the first protest in Mesa last week over the death of George Floyd while in the custody of Minneapolis police May 25. Assistant Chief Ed Wessing said the new video policy was quietly initiated in November by then Interim Chief Ken Cost, but disclosed last Wednesday. Cost was named chief earlier this year. While the Mesa Department's video policy is not a reaction to nationwide protests over Floyd's death and other cases of police brutality, Wessing said it is part of an initiative to boost trust through transparently. The video briefings also are part of an ongoing effort to improve Mesa Police use of force procedures that have been recommended by a national think tank, the Police Executive Research Forum. Cost has committed to releasing the videos within 45 days after each officer-involved shooting. The videos are a departure from a previous policy by former Mesa Chief George Gascon, who frequently held community meetings after some officer-involved shootings, slayings, and sex assaults to address public concerns. The community outreach efforts eventually trailed off after Gascon left. Now, police have scheduled a community meeting at 5 p.m. June 25 at the Sheraton Wrigleyville Hotel near Sloan Park in Mesa to outline the 66 recommendations from the Police Executive Research Forum. The recommendations cover a range of police issues, from training to policies. This is about Mesa only, Wessing said, explaining the town hall will be giving our residents as much information as we can provide. They are asking for more information. As we have evolved, we needed to be more transparent. He said that at community meetings held regularly at district substations, police have noted that their relationships with the community improve as they become more open and accountable. When you give them the answers, there are better feelings and understanding, Wessing said. We are trying to be as transparent as possible. That is part of building trust. The idea of saying nothing for 6 to 9 months after a shooting is not working anymore. In the past, police often would not comment on officer-involved shootings beyond releasing the basic facts, saying the matter was the subject of an internal affairs investigation. Wessing said such investigations are being expedited now. He said Mesa Police average about 6 or 7 officer-involved shootings a year. Subscribe Fine Planet to get the latest updates. Mayor John Giles said he supports the video program. He also believes the community meeting on the recommendations will help demonstrate to the public that the department for 2 years has been addressing concerns generated by several high-profile instances of allegedly excessive use of force. I think it's very impressive, Giles said about the first video, which chronicled the 2019 death of a 27-year-old man who had been acting erratically and refused to drop a handgun before he was shot to death by officers. I think it will help us with the trust issue between the police and community, Giles said. Giles has acknowledged the problem of systemic racism, calling Floyd's death a watershed moment. He said the nation needs to undertake significant reforms to promote more fairness in the way officers and the criminal justice system treat people of color. I think the national emphasis on examining these procedures is a great thing, he said. This is a process that we have been working on for some time now. While former Chief Ramon Batista initiated the outside review of Mesa police shooting policies, Cost was in charge of putting the recommendations into practice when he headed training as an assistant chief. Wessing said police recently completed their review of the Police Executive Research Forum's recommendations. All were adopted with a few minor modifications. It makes the Mesa police even more progressive, in line with the best practices, Wessing said. None of these are significant changes. In the first video released last week, body cam videos and a video obtained from a witness chronicled the police response to a series of 911 calls and eventually the fatal shooting of Garrett Ryberg last November 16. The first 911 calls described Ryberg running along the Loop 202 near the Alma School Road exit. The scene shifts to a yard where callers report a young man with two dogs attempting to jump into semi-tractor trailer truck and drive away. He's trying to break in. He's got his hand on a gun, one caller reports. He looks like he's on drugs or something. When officers arrive on scene, their body-worn camera shows them yelling at Nyberg to drop the gun and to get out of the truck. But Wessing, acting as narrator, said Nyberg refused to follow commands, pointed the gun at police, and was shot. 2 gunshots are heard on the video. The video becomes graphic and disturbing when it shows Nyberg hanging limp off the driver's side door of a truck's cab. He subsequently was pronounced dead. "We're trying to present the facts as we know them," Wessing said. "I think the public expects transparency with our body cameras. This is what we know and this is what the officer was faced with." Thank you for watching, Fine Planet.